Good morning, everybody. It is the 14th of February, Tuesday morning, 9:08 a.m. We had inflation at 8:30 a.m. And so we're going to go across the inflation report now. So what actually happened was we had previous inflation at 6.5%, forecast of 6.2, and the actual 6.4. So a bearish report there on inflation on the consumer price index. Just looking at some of the articles out today, we have January's CPI inflation rate slows to 6.4, but monthly inflation rose by 0.5. Okay, and basically down the bottom here, we are looking at the Fed, and most likely won't have enough confidence that inflation will continue to ease on its own. So we need to raise interest rates probably at the next Fed meet. Okay, that combined with the latest jobs report, we're gonna have to raise interest rates. So it's bearish for the US economy. Just another article here to quickly look at is this one, okay, on CNBC. And just an interesting graph here on the US Consumer Price Index, okay? Year-over-year percentage change through January 2023. We were at 8, this is 9% back in June, which was, everyone was talking about that, how inflation was near 10%. And we've had the monetary policy come in and interest rates rising, and we've brought it down to 6.4% here. So we've come down a little bit from December, so 6.5, 6.4, but not as much as was targeted or hoped. We wanted 6.2, sorry, when inflation come down to 6.2. So they're in a bit of a fight at the moment. This is, coming from the difference in 2021, where we were at 1.7%. Okay, so huge difference there, and not too good for the US economy at the moment. So we'll see what happens. We've had bullish action, since the start of the year, since October, as this inflation has come down, from October here. But now we've got this sort of stagnation. We'll see how it reflects in the Dow Jones index. So here we go. Looking at what's happening right now, I've let the news absorb into the market. I've let the market open. It hasn't opened yet, sorry. I've let the news absorb into the market pre-open. We're 20 minutes away from the actual official index open. We can see here already on the S&P 500, we had a sweep into liquidity here at 4,200 again at this area of supply. Okay, major area of supply here. And then we've had this rejection here on this daily candle. So capping at 4,200. Will it break through today and push up through 4,200? We'll see. But there's a capping there at 4,200, okay? But price is not able to go through 4,200. What that means is it's a very integral point for our uptrend at the moment on the S&P 500. If we look at the Dow Jones index, okay, we've been holding here at 34,500 pretty solidly. The capping is this level here, level 3, okay, right here at 34,200-ish. Price can't really get through this area, okay, but it has been super bullish. So we've been in a bullish market in the past week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Everything since October here has been bullish, apart from this big sell-off. But we're holding here at supply, and it's anybody's guess. There's no direction for me right now. It's bullish. It's not strong bullish, but it's bullish. We're not in a strong uptrend. This is an area where we could see this sell-off that I'm looking for. I'm trying to hang on to the fact that I don't think we're out of the danger at the moment in the US economy. I definitely feel that the crash is coming. We're still in the middle of the crash right now, and so we just have this pullback on this holding here at 34,500, but a continuation to the downside. I do see for this year. That doesn't affect our trading at all. It's just again, we're not here to make predictions, but I just feel that there's some more selling to come, and unless we get a strong break to the upside in the next couple of days, we're either going to get a sell-off or this range here, this compression, this energy has come to this point, right? I want you to see that. It's a big expansion of energy, and then a contraction. We're down this little area here where something has to give, some type of movement has to give right now. We have to see something happen. Okay, whether we see a leg up here to 500, okay, is the next level. 500. 35,500. Please excuse me. Numbers. A burst up to that level would be very bullish, okay, indicative of bullish action. I would expect price to then continue to the upside and just continue in a bullish uptrend. But given today's inflation report, we're kind of stagnant. It's kind of neutral. So we could definitely see it could spook the market a bit. Down here on the 4 hour, okay, just zooming into this area here, this rectangular box. This is our 4 hour we're going to zoom into from the daily. Looking at that, okay, classic spike into supply liquidity and then collapse to the downside. That is what we're seeing right now happen here, 13th of December, okay, and then also happens in the opposite direction when we have our inflation report here on the 10th of November, the 10th of November inflation report, okay, smash to the downside, then and then grabs buy liquidity and then shoots the upside, okay, right? Another inflation report here, 13th of December, shoots the upside, grabs liquidity, goes to the downside, then we have this big sell-off. Now, looking at what's happening now, not as big a reaction to the market with this inflation report so far, but goes up into liquidity. We've got a 4 hour kangaroo tail candle, okay? 4 hour wick at the top here, indicative of a top. We're in supply. We're hard in supply right now. Okay, there's a hard sell wall here. We can't break through that. What this candle means is that we moved up into the supply zone and we had heavy selling, pushed us back down, suppression. And look, what's happening right now is this kind of action. Are we going to go and challenge demand here at 33,500 right now? It looks for me like that's the most likely outcome, okay? Is that we're at a ceiling here and we're just going to work this range again. So be very careful buying up here at the moment. And I highly recommend to, if you're going to scalp, be at your computer screen or avoid buying altogether. That's just looking at the 4 hour. If we go down to the 1 hour, selling, okay, buying is just a bit of a no-go for me right now, okay? Yes, we've pushed above supply here. We could say that the supply zone here at 3,400 could become demand, and we'll see what happens, all right? But it's not... for me, I need to see that hold at this level over the next few hours before shooting back to the upside. I dare say there's going to be some kind of push back down to this zone here. Okay, this is the action that's been happening. Past activity can predict the future in terms of it doesn't matter for us. We're not going to sell off this notion that price is going to return back down here, but I'm definitely vigilant for it. I'm going to put an alert down there to watch what happens to see when demand is crossed. But right now, here's this wick to the upside. So what's happened here is price is we've had buying up, okay, at the news report, at the inflation report, buying and then suppression, selling suppression. Lots of orders, lots of buy stops have been hit here. Lots of stop losses have been hit. Lots of money has been transferred in this area from smart money, okay, smart money to retail money to retail hands, okay? So what's happened is buying has occurred and then turned around and come back down. Stop losses have been hit. All that jazz has happened. And right now we're getting ripped to the downside, a classic pattern and something that's why we wait for the news to absorb into the market. Now, if we go down here to the 1 hour, to the 1 minute on our beautiful river we have here, okay? We have hit area of, we can just look at that actually on the so from the 13th of January was our supply zone here, 1st of Feb as well, 13th of January. I can't actually go that far back here, but we drag that supply zone out, can see that it was dipped into nicely. Okay. Now, if you were on the screens at this news report and it hit the bottom here and it was flat and then started moving to the upside, you could most definitely short this area. Okay. So just for the future reference, that was a beautiful trade right there. I wasn't at the screen. I just was letting the news absorb and not getting caught up in it. But if you are watching and you see a sweep to the bottom and then it returns to the upside, that is exactly the pattern we're looking for mean reversion. Do not be afraid to jump in with some trades, even a couple of minutes after news, as long as it's swept. If it shoots to the upside or whatever, stay out. But this kind of sweeping action is perfect. Right now, what do I see? Okay, shoots to the upside, rejects that area, we're pushing down. This could very well mean the top of the mountain, and we see some selling. Okay, let's just all the way down. Okay, I've got a strong, let's pull this across. Strong level of demand here and here. Why is that demand there? Well, we have an order block through here. I wouldn't say that's the strongest level of demand. For me right now, if we delete that, the strongest level of demand is here. Okay, previous demand there, previous supply, holds its supply here, shoots up, takes out the open, moves and busts through that with imbalance yesterday morning. This is where we have a strong demand zone. That's 33,900. If we go to the 1 hour, what does that look like? 33,900 there. Okay, that's the one that we're looking at right now. Okay, where price will most likely move down to in this movement for today's session. We're going to see what speed it moves down there, but that's the area of demand I'm looking at, 33,900. Okay, here, right? So this kind of action is definitely predicted. The thing is, we have the index open coming in 10 minutes. So right now, the way that price is grinding down and the fact that it's hit up here and it's moving to this downside does look like a good buy. Okay, so I'm being vigilant at the moment. The fact that we're at the top of a mountain, I'm not seeing how hard this push to the downside is. Okay, I'm not seeing very strong trajectory. It's traversed from the top here and it's come down the bottom. Now, the fact of the matter is that we're at strong supply up here, but we've also moved through that supply zone and we've come back down, and this supply at 3,400 seems to have could have turned into demand. So right, possible demand here. So it could hold at this level or grind down and then become the new zone. Okay. What am I seeing right now? It's kind of holding here. Okay. Now we know on inflation reports that there's huge volatility that comes in the market, and you can't predict what's going on. You don't know what's going to happen. But this is a pretty flat river right now. Pretty flat river. The pattern has swept. Very likely that we get some buying up here. Okay. Here's immediate demand. It's at that zone. Here. But it's pushing down. So I have no trades on at the moment. I'm just looking at this. I'm writing it out. We don't need to be so active on these inflation days. Anything can happen. So it's more about reacting to what price is doing. Okay. Now, for me, it looks like a kind of top. Okay. It looks like it's come up here. It's grabbed. Try to grab supply liquidity. It's trying to break through this sell wall at the top here. It's been rejected. It's sold off hard, and now it's pushing to the downside. Okay, so for me, this session is predicted down here. I would let things pan out 20, 15, 30 minutes after the index open. See what it does. If it bounces off this area here and goes back to the upside at the index open, sell this area. Okay, sell this area. Because we might get some beautiful mean reversion. this area here, sell it. Okay. But dare say this is going to turn my predicted trajectory from just looking at this kind of action. Okay. There, and if that happens, we definitely don't want to be in any of the trades. I've been practicing defensive scaling in, but there's no need. Okay. Now you're going to see this. The moving averages have crossed in the middle here. Right, they're opening up, they're expanding. I'm looking at this kind of action for this session, at least to this area here, and then we'll see what happens. But, you know, when we look at it like this, it definitely looks like it's going down, okay, given previous history. So, hands off the trades at the moment. Let's see what happens. Let's put an alert down here. This area, 33,900. Back to 3,400. Okay, that's the area. Down here. Let's demand this 3,400 there, sorry. Wait for it to get back down here. Let's see what happens when it gets back down to this area. And have a look at price. Just learn to look at price. There's the alert. Demand 3,400. $34,000. I'm sorry, I get my. Okay, this is the kind of action we're looking at. We don't want to trade mean reversion on that. We don't need it. We don't need to do that. This is opening up. Okay, let's leave it, see what happens. I'll be updating on the group. Have a beautiful morning. Cheers.